What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live. We do this periodically throughout the week as we continue to grow towards the football season, where we hope to have every single day a live version from 5 to 6 o'clock approximate p.m. I'm your leader, the coach. We're in your feed, the morning show, every single day before 11 a.m. Subscribe at our YouTube channels where you're watching this right now. Hit the notifications button. Then you know every single time that we go live or drop something new into your feed. Now, you guys wanted this. We're giving it to you where we break down the day's games that are already going on, but also look forward to whatever is going on in the evening. Now, we did this last week, and I talked to the bosses, and they said, Coach, you can do it again. If we get to 100 likes here on the show, I'm going to give away a year-long subscription to SportsLine. In addition to that, after we hit 100 likes, I want you to put right over in the comment section, and then if the over hits in the Nuggets and Suns tonight, then tomorrow morning we will give away another year-long subscription to SportsLine. So that is what we're doing today. If we get to 200, great. We'll give it two away. 300, you know the drill. All right, let's bring in the stars of the show, and we are running the three-man weave today. Right below me, you know him. Come on, he's M Squared. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Coach. Sweating a little baseball this afternoon. Got one play up today. Tracking as the sharp side of the market currently. Hasn't moved against me at all. A few little movements. So fired up, ready to go tonight.
All right, we're going to get to that game in just a little bit. But first, let's introduce a man who right now, the worst thing you can have in an under bet is extra innings. Justin Perri, good afternoon. Giants, Rangers going to the top of the 10th. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? Yeah, seeing an extra inning game when you have an under 8 play is never great, but I'm hopeful we can get out of this without too much damage.
Let's just stop the Giants, and then the Rangers can just bring the runner in from second. We're all good. We are all good. Maestro, how are you this afternoon, sir?
I got to be honest, I'm not in a good mood. You caught me at a really bad moment. Watching Sean Manaea on this free MLB TV game is just maddening. I mean, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, cannot finish a single guy off. He's up to 70-something pitches with 1 K. He's going to throw 6 scoreless with like 2 Ks. I'm over 5.5, and I mean, it would take an absolute miracle at this point. So, but I'll cheer up. I have a lot of things I'm excited about, which is that I've got another play from Prop Stars to give out and another play from the kid Mad Max to give out on this show.
A brand new capper today, and we're trying to expand our team because we're going to need a lot more people, but it's very, very difficult to get on this team. It's not like you walk in, knock on the front door, and I say, come on in, you can be a part of the Early Edge crew. That's not how it works. But this new kid, Mad Max in the Thunderdome, is what we're going to be calling this young cat. And this kid is sharp. The Maestro brought him in. I can't wait to see what else you're going to be giving out. We gave a play of his first one this morning, Nikolai Jokic, under 6.5 assists tonight. That's from Mad Max. So we're going to keep an eye on that one because we're very excited. Now, normally, Maestro, you have to be able to shave to be on this show. And we're not sure if he does that yet. But if he's a friend of yours, he's a capper for us. All right, we're going to get to the baseball coming up in just a little bit. But here we're going to start with the big game of the night, guys. And that, of course, is the Nuggets and the Suns. And this is Phoenix up 1-0. Suns are 26-14 at home. They've been very, very good. Chris Paul, game 1, was more Chris Paul-like. He scored 21 points. He was terrific. The total is at 221, or started at 221. It's now up to 223.5. I just looked at SportsLine. So let's jump right into the number was around 5.5 or 6. They won by 17 in game 1. Maestro, let's start with you. Which number do you like tonight the most?
I don't think the Suns played their best game. They were 7 out of 21 from deep, missed a lot of open looks. If Chris Paul is healthy and Michael Porter Jr. now dealing with back tightness, apparently questionable, they shut him down. He didn't play as much in the second half, and Monte Morris and Austin Rivers went for like 3 of 17. I mean, obviously things are not going to repeat themselves exactly, but from what I saw, I just think that I'm going to be on the Suns tonight.
Yeah, that's. I can tell you this: that Mike Barner is on the Suns minus the 5.5 as well. Justin, I can tell you the Giants just scored a run in the top of the 10th, which is not what you wanted. It's 3-2 there as we continue to sweat that under. What are your thoughts tonight on the Nuggets and the Suns, sir?
I'm going to be with the Suns as well. I'm a little bit more concerned about the spread. I think that the Nuggets are going to have a good chance tonight to bring a little bit more energy and maybe have this one be a little closer. But I would definitely take the Suns on the money line if you were going to be using them in a parlay leg. I don't know if I would play either side on the spread because, like Larry said, the Suns may come out even better than before, but I do think they get the second win at home.
M Squared, what do you like tonight, pal?
It goes opposite of our contest a little bit, but I like the under as the sharpest play in the game now at 223.5. I have this one all the way down at 219 in the Sims. So that's my favorite play on the game. As far as who wins, the Suns are most definitely the better team. The biggest question mark is how healthy is Will Barton? Will Barton's been cleared to play for the Nuggets tonight, going to make his return. Are we talking 8 to 10 minutes? Or is he going to play 20, 25 minutes? Some of that question might be answered by the status of Michael Porter Jr., but I know that having Will Barton out there and relieving some, even of just like ball handling duties for Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a significant boost for the Denver Nuggets. I think they're going to keep it close. I think we get a more competitive basketball game here, but if I had to lay the spread, it would probably be with the Suns -5. Just noting that this one opened at 6 and has been bet down. So I think a lot of that has to do with Will Barton being able to play for the Nuggets today.
I think you're exactly right. And here's I call the 5 the sweet spot because I hate 5-point spreads. I hate them because for some reason when you see a 4, you're like, okay, they can win 115, 110. I'm good with that. But 115, 111, and I lose. That's the number I keep seeing in my head is 115, 111 tonight. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but that's what I'm seeing. And if that's the case, then the over would come in and the Nuggets would come in. But my gut tells me, Mikey, that you're right, that this could be a more competitive, battle it out, going back and forth. Defense starts to really play a role. But to me, the X factor, and I want to get all of your opinion, is the fact that Devin Booker, he only took 12 shots in the first game. He was not a factor. He did not have to do very much at all. I think he's going to be way more aggressive tonight. And normally when he scores a lot, the Suns score a lot. So I would lean towards the Suns because I think Booker is going to go off, and he didn't need to in game 1. How important is it, do you think, for Devin Booker to win this series to be Devin Booker? Maestro?
I think he's perfectly happy doing what he did, hitting 8 of 12 shots and getting 8 assists. You know, if they're going to guard him with Aaron Gordon, who's their, by far their best defender, and if they're going to back him down in the post like Aaron Gordon was trying to punish him, and they're going to send a couple of guys at him to get the ball out of his hands, I think he's more than happy to give it up to Bridges, give it up to Ayton, give it up to Paul. Paul healthy now. This is one of the picks I have to give on HQ. So I kind of looked into it. The Devin Booker prop line, I believe, is 28.5. 28.5 points. And just with Paul being healthy and the way they're defending, I think he goes under, and I think Phoenix wins again.
Okay. By the way, the Maestro is going to be on CBS HQ at the end of the hour as well. So he'll have to exit around 5:40 Eastern time. We did have a question in the comments, guys. Because it's one thing we discussed before game 1 is the DeAndre Ayton props. Because you give it out earlier in today, Maestro, over 25.5 points and rebounds. So somebody asked us, Bill, do you think the Ayton points over 16.5 is still good? Maestro? And then anybody else can piggyback that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still lean that way. He's gone over it now, and all 4 times he's faced Denver. 17, I believe, is his lowest scoring game. So yeah, it's a good matchup for him. Jokic is the MVP, but not for his defense. As our colleague Tom Fernelli mentioned today in his email newsletter, where he's also on Ayton points and rebounds. I mean, it's a crowded bandwagon. A lot of people are on the Ayton bandwagon, but let's keep it going.
Mikey, Justin?
Yeah, I think the number is appropriate for me personally. It's at 16 in the model. I think that the biggest thing that we need to talk about and think about with this Suns team is Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges now, I believe, 4 consecutive games with double-digit shot attempts. That's part of the reason why you're seeing Devin Booker's drop. You look at Ayton, and the thing that's concerning to me on that number is just the number of shot attempts that he's had in some of these games. He had 13 in the most recent game, but against the Lakers, if 4 attempts, 3 attempts, 8 attempts. Like, obviously he's getting to the free throw line 4 to 5, 6 times a game. But when I see game logs with him with 3 consecutive games under 8 shots, that is awfully concerning for a point total that's above maybe 12 to 13. So I have the number at 16. I think he can very easily get there, especially if he can crash the boards, get a few putbacks. I think that those putbacks and or getting to the line is going to be where his success comes from, because one thing we know Denver does really poorly is defend the perimeter. So there's going to be a lot of shots for Michael Bridges. There's going to be a lot of shots even for Jay Crowder hitting some of those corner threes. So I'm a little shy on that just because of the way that the Nuggets like to defend.
And Mikey, I got to jump in there because Prop Stars was actually echoing you, our colleague Alex. He is on Mikal Bridges over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has a big article up on it. You can check his feed, but he notes that they give up the third most points to the small forward position. They don't defend the perimeter. He said he took 8 trays and most of them were wide open. And now he's averaging 24.3 points, rebounds, and assists against the Nuggets. So that's a play from Prop Stars, and you can check him out on Twitter.
I do need to jump in here because I just love watching Justin sweat a game. I love watching Justin sweat a game. So here's where we're at in the Giants-Rangers game. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the Early Edge, the live show. Justin Perri is on the under in the Giants and the Rangers. It was 2-1 in the ninth. They tied it, and then the Giants scored 1 in the 10th. The Rangers now have a runner at third base. If they bring him in here, it'll be 3-3 going to the 11th. And this is just a nightmare for look at Justin's face.
I'm having an awful time, Coach. I'm having an awful time. I'm sitting here.
Okay,
the game's right here.
Fun.
Oh, we're having fun, but like
this is a better.
I'm glad someone is.
By the way, let's get to 100 likes very, very quickly. So potentially we can get to 200 today. We're going to give away a year-long subscription to SportsLine if we get to 100 likes on the show. And then also if you write over in the comment section and Julia, we don't need the Twitter handle, do we? Just Twitter handle and the over, right? And they have to follow SportsLine. I got to remember the rules here as we are doing this live. But we're on the Nuggets Suns over tonight, 223.5. If it hits, then tomorrow morning on the morning show, we will give away another year-long subscription to SportsLine. So let's get those two things done. Any thoughts, Justin, on the Ayton prop, which has been a prop that we've played a ton, and it just continues to cash? And we tell people all the time that just because you played it before doesn't mean you have to stay away from it moving forward. I think that's a really good educational point for people, no matter what the bet is. No matter what the bet is, what do you when you look at something that's hit 3, 4, 5 times in a row? How do you handicap that?
I definitely, make sure to be a little careful not to let that bias creep in that, this just keeps hitting and keeps hitting. But if you're playing it on a strong edge and you continue to have that same edge, I don't see anything wrong with it. You would hope that your results yield a win. But in terms of going with this prop, Mike kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to go talk about sort of where his shot attempts have been and how in 2 of the last 3 games, he really hasn't had enough to get him past that point. I'd probably lay off. I know it's an interesting one, but it doesn't correlate with some of those plays that I do like from Prop Stars, with Mikal Bridges getting maybe a little bit more than he was going to get in the last couple of games. He's heating up. I actually liked him at the beginning of the playoffs as one of the players you definitely need to watch because this Phoenix team does have the depth, and he is good.
Yeah, I find I still do this when I let the non-smart gambler creep back into my body, which was like me in my 20s, is I'll have a tendency to bet 3 or 4 props in the same game because I'm not thinking like you guys think. Because a lot of people don't think that if this person, we bet the over here, then this person cannot hit his over. And I think that's very, very important for people to understand, which is why listening to guys like you is so important. How much, Maestro, do you look at that? I know you don't blindly play DeAndre Ayton. There is always a method to your madness. What's your logic?
There was real hesitation because I got in at 22.5 in game 1 and now over 25.5 when I played it. And I think you might even be seeing 26.5. So it's getting to the point where there's no value. Still think there's room there, because he's had at least 30 in all 4 matchups against this team. I think it's more about the matchup than just how great Ayton is. But speaking of that, with Bogey Bogdanovic, I had a crushing loss last night when he fell 1.5 points shy of his, points, rebounds, and assists. They jacked it up, though. It was 24.5. Now it's 25.5 juiced over. So, they're seeing the same things we're seeing, is that he played 41 minutes. He had plenty of shot attempts. He should have gone over. He didn't, So I still like that at 25.5, but it was interesting to see the market move after he lost.
It is interesting when that does happen, but it happens more than people think. We just normally don't look at it because we're always kind of looking forward to what's happened. All right, we'll get back to the basketball game at the end of the show, but we're only here for an hour, so we've got a lot of other games to get to. Mikey, I want to go to your one play on the show today, if we could. The Nats plus 150 against the Rays. Now, I know there's a lot of people that sit at home and say, Rays, they've been great at home. They've been dominant at home. Kind of refresh our memories on what you explained this morning for people that didn't see the morning show, on why you're on the Nats on the road and why there is so much value here on this play.
Yeah, so look, there's two opportunities to take advantage of the Tampa Bay Rays. One, it's going to be when they face a left-handed pitcher. They are drastically worse against left-handed pitching. 25th in Major League Baseball, actual statistic, not an expected number. 293 weighted on base average, not hitting for a lot of power. But the real key here is they strike out 30% of the time. It's them and the Detroit Tigers against left-handed pitching at the bottom of the league. And then on the other side, the Nationals actually hit left-handed pitching really well. They are in a negative park shift, but they're in the American League Park. So you're giving this lineup a designated hitter. That offsets it a little more for them, especially when they're giving a guy like Patrick Corbin a really friendly environment to pitch in. One, that they're not going to be hitting a lot of home runs. Two, they're going to be striking out. That's going to help him get out of jams here. But I got it at plus 150. It's coming down to plus 145, just a little bit. Definitely tracking as the sharp side in the market. I make it all the way down to plus 127. So I think that the other thing that everyone is excited about, Shane McClanahan. He's pitched really well. He's got electric stuff. However, he's not pitching past the fifth inning. That's his good result so far this season. So looking at some game like this, I'm expecting 3 2/3 innings from him. Maybe gets to 5, and like I said, in a really best case scenario for him. But I do like this one. And once he's out of the game, I make this one a lot closer to a pick'em.
What would you think about, because we don't talk a lot about first 5 bets here on the show, but would this be a spot for a first 5 or a run line first 5 or just a stay away first 5?
If you prefer it on the first 5 there, I'd have to look and see at William Hill what the number is real quick. But if you wanted to take it plus half a run at minus 110, I don't hate the minus 110. If you want to take them, so as long as the game is tied, then you'll actually cash that. It won't be a push; it'll cash. That one's fine. But other than that, for me, I think that I would still Nationals here. It's only plus 140 the first 5. What happened, Justin? Score? They tied again?
3-3. You got to get this run in.
That was worst possible scenario. They walked a runner on like an 11 pitch at bat. Sorry to interrupt you, Mikey. And so first and third, and the worst thing that could have happened, sacrifice fly. A double would have been great. Anything would have been great there, but a sacrifice fly.
And anything but that, really. Anything. I needed the strikeout, really, or something. But all right, let's see what happens. We need a home run here, essentially. 11
pitch at bat and got it to a full count. He was dying. The whole time you were talking, all I could do was watch his face because I knew what was coming. Look at that. There it is right there. Thank you to the jeweler. 3-3. Our boy Justin.
We're going to lose it. I know we're going to lose it. I can just feel it.
Justin, can I give you some insult to injury here in this game?
Please.
So everyone knows how much I love my expected data. So I can look at the live data coming in. All the balls that have been put in play, I can get a live expected batting average for each team in the game. There have now been 6 runs in the game. The expected batting average for the Giants, 151, and for the Rangers, 143. This game was a 1-1 or 1-0 game.
Bad.
It was just brutal baseball. And are looking at losing.
Oh no!
We're going into the
second base. He just got thrown out at second base. We're going to the 11th. Oh, Justin!
Someone's got to put the brakes on somewhere. Like, please.
This is absolutely.
This is going to end up like 10 or 11. This is awful.
You can't get better than this. This is the best sweat ever.
Is this a significant? Is this a real significant amount, Justin, on this game? You don't have to.
Oh no, it's a standard. My standard.
Okay.
On it. So no, nothing crazy. But I like winning on days I'm on the show, especially. So I really want to get this.
Well, when the game's over, I'm going to tell you a little something that may surprise you, but I'm going to wait till the game is over on that. All right, so the Nats, I've already played. Just for the record, for people who are watching the live show in the afternoon, we know there's a lot of you that are new because you watch us in the morning. We absolutely bet everything that we give out, whether it's on this show or in the morning show, we bet it all. So I've already played the Nats plus the 150. The Rays are now up to minus 160 currently. At least SportsCenter just changed that. The over-unders around 8, 7.5. But also another play we had tonight on Larry before you have to get out of here is the Angels minus 135 over the Royals. Now, the Royals are a graded A play at SportsLine. Bowman's on the Royals. You're on the Angels. Sell yourself, sir. Sell yourself.
That makes me feel a lot worse. Actually, it was all the way up to minus 145. That was kind of one of the main triggers for me, was that I saw it going from 123 all the way up to minus 145. I sent it in for the show and didn't jump on it until I got a bad number at 145. I don't know what it is right now, but definitely some sharp action on the Angels. People thought it was too low. Jared Walsh back in the lineup. John Bowman, who, I respect a lot. The guy worked in the Blue Jays front office. So, he has cred. He says Keller's been pitching great the last month or so. But, I don't like going against the model. But I don't know. The Royals, to me, look pretty bad. 9 runs in the last 4 games. The Angels have scored 33 runs in those same 4 games. They've beaten them bad the last 2 times. They're getting their cleanup hitter. They have that catcher who was hitting cleanup, doing amazing for them. And don't see like a tremendous edge in the pitching matchup. So, that's what I rolled with.
Okay. Well, the Sims have it. The Royals beating the Angels 5.5 to 4.9 tonight in the Sims. So everything is going against you. I will say this, that the number is currently at minus 153.
Whoa.
So you're looking good there. Because it's moving away from us. So getting the number early was the right play.
Yeah.
So I played it early as well. We always play it. You got to play the numbers where my guys give it out because they are literally market movers. That's a nice name for a show, I think. Market movers. I think I kind of like that.
I don't know. Is it?
I think it is. If anybody ever did a show called Market Movers, I would definitely watch. All right, let's take a look at. You did have one other prop tonight, Casey Mize over 5.5 Ks. People still have a chance to get in on that. Why'd you like Casey Mize today, Maestro?
Yeah, that was plus money. And I see one of the questions over 17.5 outs, which I like as well. It was just, reading up on him. He was a guy I was playing against early in the season in terms of his strikeout props. And then they made an adjustment with the pitching coach and he moved himself to the center of the rubber instead of the side of the rubber. And the results have been, eye-popping. 2 games with 7 Ks, 2 games with 6 Ks, 7 Ks against the same team that he went 7 2/3. That was at Seattle. Now he's home. I really like it.
Okay. You did catch a break, Justin. A rundown, and the man is
baby. Down. Let's go.
So right now, 2 outs, runner at first. No run scored yet for the Giants in the top of the 11th.
This is about as stressful as it gets.
My man Zach Attack is watching the live show right now. He just wrote, Coach is going to go crazy on the live stream in the 11th. I'm here for it. Only if it gets to 7. It has to get to 7 before I'm willing to go crazy over it. So I'm not willing to do that. But speaking of Zach Attack, he has 2 plays on the show tonight. The Mets minus 125 over the Orioles. The Orioles pounded the Mets last night. The total here is 9. Open at 9. It's at 9.5. The Mets here, guys, are a graded A play. And in the Sims, they beat the Orioles 5.6. Oh, no. Okay.
That scared me, too. It scared me, too, man. That scared me.
There's a long fly out to the fence, but they caught it. So 3-3, bottom of the 11th. Mets are graded A play here, guys. 5.6 to 3.0. That's significant in the Sims. Why do we believe there is such an advantage for the Mets on the road tonight? Anybody?
Well, I think it's going to be fun to watch Matt Harvey pitch against his old team, and I think the old the revenge narrative comes out, but it's for the Mets, and that's just a fun little one there. But Harvey's been bad, man. I think that's what most people are going to touch on when they talk about him. He's given up like 3 or 4 runs in almost every start. It's hard to really stand behind him. I know the Orioles also had a big offensive night last night, so. Might not be able to do that again, especially against who they're facing tonight, which I believe is one of the Mets' better pitchers. I just don't know which one.
Should be Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, it is Taijuan Walker. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So the caution for me would be Walker is just one of those remaining guys that has a huge difference between his actual and expected numbers. But the caution there on that is that it's not expected to be a bad pitcher. He's expected to move to around league average. He's pitched essentially like Jacob deGrom so far this season. I think that is why you've seen a little movement in the market, why you're getting this minus 130, not minus 150. Frankly, I think a lot of people are betting on some of that regression to making him closer to a league average pitcher. But yeah, I don't see, Harvey's going to be inconsistent. He's going to have that inning every once in a while where he strikes out the side, but I do not see him stringing together 5 to 6 consecutive innings of good play there. So I think the Mets are the better play. My only caution would be maybe lean towards the over, just simply due to the fact that I think that Taijuan Walker at some point this season is not expected to be, let's see where his actual number is. It's like making him one of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball currently, which is not something that I expect from him long term.
Okay. Very good. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe touch a little bit on the over tonight in addition to playing that. Zach right now, if you're wondering, 9-1 in his last 10 plays on the Early Edge, the morning show. So he's been on absolute fire. The only game he's lost is the Rangers, who are currently playing right now, last night to stop that streak, that unbeaten streak. He's also on the Cardinals tonight, guys. Minus 125. Adam Wainwright is on the hill against the Indians. That is a home game, so only laying a quarter for the Cardinals at home. I'll take that almost blindly, but when you throw in this pitching matchup as well, I really like the Cardinals here. Maestro only laying a quarter.
I thought about that game. The numbers for the Cardinals are so bad. They've lost 6 straight. They've lost 8 of 9. They haven't really. They've led, I think, for 3 innings during this 6-game skid. I mean, I grew up reading the Post-Dispatch in St. Louis, and I was reading all my favorite writers about how bad the Cardinals are right now. And it's all basically, can Wainwright save us tonight? They're in bad shape, and the Indians have been crushing them. Uh-oh, Justin, what's going on?
I don't know why he's upset. I'll be honest.
Bunt out. I mean, just brutal.
You're a little bit ahead of me because I haven't.
Yeah. You just run here, right?
Yes.
I just needed a single, and this guy just bunted it out down the third baseline.
All right.
Now you got to walk him and set up the double play. Get out of this, and let's sweat a 12th inning. Let's go.
While we tease,
this is brutal.
We're getting very, very close to the 100 likes, and to give away a year-long subscription to SportsLine, which, as many of you know, is the holy grail. There's no better algorithm, anything than SportsLine right now. All of our guys are on it. 100 likes, we're going to give away a free year-long subscription. Also, if you want to type in our comment section the over, then you can be eligible to win another year-long subscription tomorrow morning on the show if the Nuggets and Suns over 223.5 hits tonight in Game 2 in Phoenix. Right now, if you're just joining us, we only need 20 more likes, by the way. Just 20 more likes to get there. We're having a little fun with our guy, Justin, because he is on the Giants-Rangers under, which is 8. And it was a 2-1 game into the 9th inning, and now we're at 3-3 in the 11th. And this has just been fun for us, and I know, Justin, not so much fun for you. I really like, to be honest, if you're an over better, the whole starting the runner on second has been awesome for last season and this season. But if you bet the under, it is literally death to go to extra innings because most teams, it's not a guarantee that you score a run, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you start with a guy on second base. Am I right? I mean,
it's brutal. Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit, but the expected run, the expected amount of runs you're going to get in the situation where you have a man on second, and he just popped out. We got 2 outs and a single. But the expected amount of runs you're going to get when you have a man on second with nobody out is actually above 1. So that means you're more likely to get 2 than you are 0. So that should just, paint the picture a little bit of just how generous this run scoring opportunity is for these teams in a sport where, 4.3 is like the average run scored in a game per team.
Oh, geez. I really thought that sportsbooks would start a bet that you had to bet the over in regulation or in 9 innings. I thought that's what it would be. And no books have done that. Nobody has adjusted to this new kind of extra inning play in Major League Baseball. And I haven't really seen, and you guys tell me because you're way more into this than I am. Have you seen an adjusted the overs and unders being a little bit higher this season than we've seen in the past, or has it been kind of status quo? Mikey, you're the numbers guy.
It's mostly been the same. Some of it is we see the baseball get changed quite a bit. We see pitchers using sticky substance, other things that have a big impact on those totals. So not a massive increase, in my opinion, so far from what I'm tracking. But maybe Justin has some other data on it.
Yeah, I've been watching it for most of the year. It definitely doesn't feel like the books have adjusted, really. You would think that totals would be a little higher, but the games that are going into extras, I feel like normally are at that 3-3, 4-4 range. And when they do get in at 1-1, 2-2, it isn't too often. Like, we definitely highlight all the times where this is happening, and it's not fun. It isn't fun. I mean, I'm sitting here hoping Brock Holt hits something on this 0-2 pitch. He fouled off a real nice one from McGee. Oh, that's a base hit. The Giants the Rangers are walking it off. The under is going to cash. Holy crap. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. They are holding Brock Holt in the air. I want to join them right now. Let's go. Let's go. Good. That's huge. That's huge.
There you go.
Coach, I got some numbers on that for the season. I mean, with offense down and pitching dominant, I think batting average 236 is the lowest in like 20 years. Basically, the overs and unders were dead even for the season coming into today, 433 to 434. Extra inning games, though, 50, and not surprising, 52 overs, 36 unders. Now we can say 37 unders for extra innings. So 59% of the games going to extras are going over.
So we need to keep an eye whenever we're handicapping a game if we think it's going to be really close or the run line to probably stay away from the total if you're going to bet an under. By the way, Justin, I was riding with you the whole way on that.
Let's go.
I was just trying not to sell it. But I was rolling with you the whole time on my book as well. So
I'm so happy. That's a feel-good win, sitting here sweating it out for literally the entire show. We've been here sweating this out for the last 35 minutes. So
this is why we started the show. This right here. This is fantastic because I know there's a lot of other people. If you're watching right now at home, if you go to SportsLine, it's way more picks than what you just see on the show in the morning. Like Justin's under. Maestro always has plays there. M Squared always has plays there. So while following us at SportsLine, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to play. And a lot of you would have been on the under today because Justin put it up on SportsLine to cash for everybody. All right, let's move on now. That was a lot of fun. I think we've gone through every game that we have on the board today. We do have in the gym, it's not looking too good right now. The Cubs-Padres over 8. And they are currently in the middle of the 5th, and they're sitting on 2 runs, 1-1 in the 5th. So that doesn't look great yet. I will say that the A's guys, they were a very strong play at SportsLine. I laid the full juice today on the A's, which was 210, which I know is an absolute wrong thing to do. But when I read the recaps and I read the picks from our guys, it was like the A's are such a strong play, I need to play them. And right now they're up 3-0 in the 6th. There are 2 runners on for the Diamondbacks. So I wanted to ask you guys, when you have a spread that's so big and they're so dominant, and I don't want to lay the run line because there's nothing I hate worse than winning a dominant play 4-3. But what do you do on a game like this when it's minus 210 and everything says play the A's? Anybody can take it.
I mean, I'll quickly talk about it. I like sprinkled a little bit on that run line, actually. Just like 0.3 units, just kind of what I use for like a casual play or like a lean that I'm going to enjoy watching, especially with day games today. I'll do that just for fun because I still am the stupid bettor at heart. We don't publish those plays, but it's
Right.
still. But no, nonetheless, this was huge, right? This was crazy, and the Diamondbacks have been struggling, and the A's really have been relatively efficient. I think this morning they're right.
All right. Apparently he didn't want to talk anymore. Or maybe I just kicked him out to tell everybody we've hit 100 likes. Right then as he was talking, we hit 100 likes. So let's go for 200. 200. Let's go. But we need to have a winner right now. And we're going to get it as soon as the jeweler tells me what it is. But we have a winner. Year-long subscription to SportsLine because you guys made it happen. Don't forget, write the word over in the comments section and your Twitter handle. And follow us at SportsLine. You got to follow us at SportsLine, and you can be eligible for a year-long subscription tomorrow if the Nuggets and the Suns over hits as well. So let's get to 200 so we can have two winners. And I will announce the first winner here in a second. Hey, Justin, if you just don't want to talk, all you got to do is I'm done.
I don't even know, man. Literally, the browser just crashed on me, and all of a sudden, I'm staring at a blank screen. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying.
I got to jump in here real quick because I know the Maestro has to go. Final thoughts on anything, Maestro, you have for tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to give out that play from Mad Max. You can follow him, Max's Picks. Zach Eflin over 17.5 outs tonight. He went at least 6 innings in his first 10 starts, and then last game was his first time that he didn't. The Rays got him out after 4 2/3. He's already faced the Braves 3 times this year, and he's already gotten at least 18 outs. That's the second play of the day from Mad Max. Guys, enjoyed it. Congrats, Justin. Congrats, Coach. See you guys on the other side.
All right, catch him on CBS Sports HQ as he's going to dazzle the good folks over there with all of his knowledge heading into tonight. So, guys, there are several other plays on the board tonight that I wanted to get to. We've got about 20 minutes left in the last 5 or 7. We will round and come back to the basketball game because so many people are on so many different bets there. And get those likes in as well if you haven't already done so. The White Sox, they've been a sneaky good team this year. The whole Tony La Russa thing has now passed. They've got a lot of talent on the mound and at the plate. Tonight, they opened at -140. It's now all the way up to -153. The total is down to 8. In the Sims, guys, the White Sox win this game 5.2 to 3.8. And the SDQL Gurus, they're on the White Sox tonight. What do we make of that White Sox game?
I mean, I think it's a good spot to pick on Manoah. Obviously young, very young, talented pitcher making a road start against a very good lineup. Obviously they're better against left-handed pitching, but I do think the White Sox are the better team. I think that they should win this game. As far as whether or not I'm laying -150, I don't think that I probably am here. I'd be more interested in the run line personally, especially if you're getting it +130 range or greater since they are the home team. But I can't knock it too much. I certainly don't have them with that big of an edge in my simulations, but it's going to come down to how quickly can they get to Manoah here. I think they're obviously the better team.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Mike. You're just going to take a look at what Lance Lynn has been doing this year. He has an expected batting average of 191. That's pretty good. It's definitely one of the best of his career. It's in the top 10% of the league right now. Same with his weighted on base average, which actually is going to fall in the top 5%. So, he's doing really well. I mean, his ERA at 1.23 is definitely a little bit lower than it should be. Expected numbers do have it around, I think it's 2.6 or so. So there could be some regression coming. He's like an extreme ground ball type pitcher. So you're gonna get a lot of like easy outs with him. So I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's a good over candidate in a sneaky way from the White Sox side. Like Mike said, Manoah is a young pitcher. This is going to be a tough game for him. This is a tough lineup for anyone to handle, yet alone a rookie.
All right, so that brings me to another question, and I will, before I ask that, announce the winner. The first winner today in our year-long subscription, because you guys got to 100 likes, at Mike_Smart 2 T's 6 at Mike_Smart. 2 T's 6. You, sir, are our winner today. If we get to 200 likes in the next 15 minutes, we'll give away another one. So what do we think? And also,
Coach, can I interrupt you real quick?
Of course, Jeweler. Of course you can.
I just spoke with the bosses, and we have been authorized to give away 2 extra free year-long subscriptions if we can get to 200 likes. So that would be the one we promised, and then you know what? We're feeling generous. We'll give an extra one on top of that.
Are you sure? Because the last thing I want to do is anybody lose a job over this. Are you sure?
It's the middle of June, and the execs are on vacay, so we're going to see what we can get away with.
All right, Jeweler, you run the show, so we're going to give away 3. If we can get to 200 likes, 3 year-long subscriptions to SportsLine. And again, hopefully everybody is here tomorrow. But it's a little precarious right now. So we got to get 200 likes. We don't just give stuff away. You got to earn it. And don't forget, leave that Twitter handle and the over, right? Over. And that's another way you can win as well. So I want to ask this, guys, because I've already played the White Sox. They were a grade A play at SportsLine. So people ask me all the time, because in MMA, you can't do it. You can't bet a fighter to win and then bet a fighter for the TKO. What do you like, or do you like in baseball, betting a team and also betting the total? So like Justin just said, betting the over 9, but also being on the White Sox.
You can. I think that in your case here, where we clearly think that they're the better team, I think that one of the ways that I'm okay with getting more action on the game will be taking the White Sox on the first 5 run line. So minus half a run, you bring that down to minus 115 as opposed to the minus 150. If you think the White Sox are as clearly the better team, you think they're going to run away with it, they should be ahead at the end of the 5th inning. Minus 115 stings a lot less than losing minus 150. Especially bringing that White Sox bullpen into play as well. Obviously, you lose the push element. You lose that push element anyway on the full game play. So I think it's okay if you want to hedge it a little bit and put some of your action on the first 5, some on the money line. I think that that's an underrated strategy that isn't talked about enough. But as far as betting the total, I mean, there are situations where it does, and you can make correlated plays, but generally speaking, that's something that I do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with Mike on that one. I feel as though, if anything, you want those plays to try to stay a little independent of one another. If anything, if you want to try to get a little bit more correlation, I feel like you can look towards those team totals. The White Sox tonight are at over 4.5, right? So if you think that it's going to be the White Sox winning and the White Sox carrying that total, and you're not really sure about the production of the other side, you're not really sure if they're going to be able to touch Lance Lynn tonight, which is a legitimate concern. But if that's something that you're worried about, and you still like, how the White Sox are going to face Manoah, and you want some action on their offense besides maybe just the win, yeah, I don't mind looking at that. I know over 4.5 tonight is almost even money. So that's not bad if you want to take a swing at it. I'm not saying I'm playing that tonight, but that's just a way to potentially think about linking a money line play or a run line play with maybe some other run line total action.
Last year when I was knee deep in the KBO and there was nothing else going on, I don't know why. Oh, bro, out here it's like 1 a.m. in California. Are you kidding me? I was up half the night going, why am I up watching Korean baseball? And then I was so into it, I couldn't stop watching it throughout the rest of the year. But that was something I did a lot last year. And I don't know why I didn't think of it just now when I was asking you guys. But there were so many teams that were lopsided in KBO that playing the team total was almost always the right play, because there was a lot of 9-1, 8-1, 7-1 games that didn't quite get to the over. And that's a great educational point, Justin, that playing the team total is always a way you can go. But you have to go in. A lot of sports books, you got to go into those prop bets underneath the game. That's where you find them. If you're going, Coach, where do I find them? Usually they're always right under the game. Just hit that, like my book says, plus 80 plays, and then it goes in there and drops down. That's where you find those bets at.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fun way to do it. Definitely not as much lopsidedness in the MLB. Right.
Yeah.
So we don't usually find as much of an issue with it, but you can pick and choose your spots on certain teams. I mean, I was looking at There was an interesting graphic published, I forget where today, that just compared like a team's average runs allowed compared to runs produced. And like, there's a couple teams that seem to always be allowing a lot of runs and then have the offense to do some damage. And it's like, some of our favorite over teams, like the Reds or even like the Angels, have been pretty bad on pitching, but pretty solid on hitting. So you can find these places where both sides come in, and that's where you might want to go with a traditional one. But like, maybe there's a bad pitcher going to the Great American Ballpark, like there actually is tonight. And I have a little bit of a sprinkle on the Reds team total over to go along with my over 10 play, because I think the Reds are going to be carrying the line more than I do the Brewers. So I'll take that and the over so that I can shade my play a little bit more to the one team that I think is going to have the bigger run total.
The edge. That's a great way to go about doing it. Wow. And you can spread out your bet a little bit more that way as well. And because Mikey always tells you, anytime you can, limit your damage, so to speak, or what do you always say, Mikey? Limit the lose possibility. That's what you want to do. And that's a good way.
Always avoid the additional loss condition. Definitely.
There you go.
I'm not going to say he stole that from me, but he kind of stole that from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stole that from Justin?
I might have still. I mean, it's a concept that I've obviously always used, but the verbiage itself, yes, I quoted his verbiage the one morning because it was a topic that came up. So
now it's caught on. So it's his catchphrase now. But
Shakespeare
Clearly,
himself here.
Justin does not care about throwing anybody under the bus.
No, I got to get my wins, Coach. I got to get my wins.
Hey, I respect it. Even though we're a team on the show, hey, you ride solo, baby. You ride solo. So I mean.
Everyone knows I wouldn't be here without Mike. I'm literally like, in his coaching school. Like if you talk about like NBA, like coaching families, I would be the Mike disciple. So I think a little bit here and there he can handle. It's okay.
That's all right. You can walk backwards as fast as you want to walk backwards.
Shit, don't fire me, man, please.
All right. There's a lot of you that have dropped in throughout the show. So if you're just joining us, we're trying to get to 200 likes to give away 3 year-long subscriptions to SportsLine. We're only here until the top of the hour, so we're at 133 the last time I checked. So we got a little ways to go in the next 10 minutes, but many of you were not here at the top of the hour, so we're going to circle back and finish the show talking about the Nuggets and the Suns because many of you missed it. And the numbers changed. It's been an hour since we looked at the numbers the last time. Tonight's a huge game too, guys. The NBA playoffs, I think, have been absolutely amazing thus far. And the fact that LeBron James is out of the playoffs, but yet nobody has seemed to blink an eye because some of these new young stars like Devin Booker, like Nikola Jokic, they've been playing great basketball, and they're going to be on display again tonight. So the spread keeps kind of floating, guys, between the 5 and 6 number, currently back down to 5. What does that say to you, Mikey?
We've got the confirmation that Will Barton's going to play. I think I touched on it earlier, but we'll touch on it again quickly. If he's healthy at all, healthy enough to give them more than, say, a 6-minute rotation or those 2 to 3 minute blocks, but if he's healthy enough to give them 18 to 20 minutes in this game, I think it makes Denver a lot better by not having to put so much additional ball handling on Michael Porter Jr. I think he's better when he doesn't have to necessarily have the ball in his hands as often. I think he's better in the flow of the offense a little more like that. So I think that is going to help them just in this particular matchup. I don't think that he's going to contribute and score a lot, Will Barton, that is, but I do think that he's going to be able to handle some of the pressure just enough that's going to free up Michael Porter and really Aaron Gordon and some of the others to really play the way that they were intended to play in this offense. And I think that that's why you've seen this number kind of bounce from 6 to 5.
Okay. Any thoughts there, Jay, or can I move on to the total?
I think I'm with Mike there, honestly. Hard for me to add anything else. He sort of comes at it the same way I would. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, the total has been right. It hasn't moved very much. 223 at the start of the day. It's only got up a half a point with Will Barton now guaranteed to play. I think, Mikey, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think that speeds up how they will play. And I think, to me, the over feels better with Will Barton in the lineup than with him out of the lineup.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I personally am going to be on the under in the game. I have about 4.5 to 5 points of edge now on it at the current number. I totally get the interest in it. I think it'll be a very competitive game, but the simulations are very clearly on the under for me in this one. So that's just kind of where I'm going to be at on it.
This screams for me one of those games that I'm going to play with the 200 people who are watching us at any one time. And it's going to be a fun play. So I'm going to lower my unit play just because I don't like the spread on this game, which is why we did not give a play out on the show earlier today. And I'll just bet it for fun because I really have no idea what's going to happen. I honestly do not. So this is not going to be a place where I'm trying to make money today. I am on the A's, however, trying to make money. And they're up 3-0 at the end of the 6th. So far, all breakdowns of SportsLine on the A's have been spot on through 6 innings. I love it when I go to SportsLine, guys, or I listen to you, Mikey, or you, Justin, and everything you tell me happens in the game. How good does that make you feel as a professional handicapper when you say this, and then it's exactly what happens?
Yeah, it's definitely the best feeling, no doubt.
Yeah, there's few better feelings than that. Really kind of fun to nail it on the head. I mean, sometimes we get the analytics right and the game results don't happen. I mean, we think back to that crazy game that I had last week with that Rays game. They had like 17 left on base and somehow we pushed in like the last hour there, that game very easily could have ended with a loss, even though the analytics were on. And then there's days where we totally whiff on the analytics and we somehow get the play right. And then, of course, there are the days where, we whiff and we whiff. And it's a balance. We try to get everything to be as skewed to the winning as we can and try to sort of beat the odds, essentially. That's what we're here to do. But no, when it comes out right, when you're like, okay, this team hasn't been hitting well and this pitcher's been kicking butt, and you hit that under, it's sweet. It's sweet, man.
I find it funny, and I usually come to your guys' defense because I want you guys to remain baby faces, and I'm happy to be the heel. I've always been a heel in pro wrestling, and a nice man in our comment section, Gregory, says, "Hey, Coach, I've loved you since your WWE days." Thank you very much. I certainly do appreciate that. But being the heel and going after people on Twitter, when they do this, we tell them all the time, a top handicapper, a top one, you're talking 53, 54%, maybe 55. But that means you're going to lose 45% of the time. But yet, when we lose a pick, all of a sudden, you guys are the worst. You're idiots. We do this for a living. And the numbers are always going to come out in our favor long term. But people come in and cherry pick 1 or 2 plays or one day show, and all of a sudden, they're the smartest guy in the room until they're not, and then we never hear from them again. Huh, Mikey?
Yep. Well, I'll touch on that because we had this question earlier too. Really quick back to baseball, and just to give people a caution to be careful with like win percentages in general. The question was about Major League Baseball underdogs. Blindly betting the underdogs, they are 379 and 479, 100 games under 500 there for 44%, and it's still plus 2284. So they're 100 games under, and it's still insanely profitable. So 44% is still and can be a very profitable winning percentage still.
It's why you watch shows like us and why we take our jobs so incredibly seriously. We don't just throw picks out to say, hey, let's have some fun. And we understand that you're betting real money. We understand that you're trying to win. So are we. And we're trying to all do it together because it's a lot more fun when 500 people win together than just us 3 to 5 people win together. So we take this incredibly seriously. When people think that we're trying to lose the game, drives me absolutely bonkers. All right, guys, we only got a couple of minutes left. The A's are still up 3-0, top 7, 2 outs. Your final thoughts, anything on the board heading into a busy Wednesday night? We didn't even hit on hockey. I apologize to the hockey fans, but we had a lot to get to. We only have an hour. Final thoughts, Justin, let's start with you.
I'm just going to jump in on that last point quickly, and then I'll touch on my last pick of the day. But yeah, I mean, I have someone come at me saying that like I only post about like my winners, but I get on the screen every day and talk about every single game and how they went and how it compares to the wins and the losses. And we like have a daily show, and I don't hide anything. I mean, look, some days I don't tweet. Like I haven't even tweeted about that Rangers winner yet. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. I'm a normal person, but no, nonetheless, It's 53% is an incredible rate. That's like what we aim for. And, I had like some crazy 15-0 run in March, and I'm probably still positive just from that, because in the last 3 months, it's like even at a slow negative decline, we're going to have some crazy runs, and over the long run, get you those wins. So on that note tonight, I am going with the Cincinnati Reds total. I got it at over 10. I don't know if it has really moved yet. I can look right now, but no, I'm really liking the over. And like I said, I sprinkled about a half of a unit also onto the Reds team total over. So really liking those plays tonight.
I'm going to be playing those as soon as I get off this feed. That's for damn sure. M Squared, close it out for us.
Yeah, I think that if you're looking for a slight edge here tonight, and you trust what I had to say about potentially this game being an under game, the NBA game, there's another angle that you can attack, and that's going to be Denver Nuggets under player props. Maybe not necessarily on Jokic, but on some of the other players, particularly Michael Porter Jr. We know that he's questionable. We know he's most likely going to play. However, we know that Will Barton is going to be in that rotation. So Barton's going to rob minutes from someone if Michael Porter Jr. is not healthy. If he's not healthy, he might even get in foul trouble in this game because he may not be able to move properly. So just that is one edge that I think is going to be there. You're going to have to look. I don't know what kind of props you can find on Austin Rivers. If everything's equal, I expect Austin Rivers to lose some of his minutes in this game. But if Barton's number, we'll have to watch it pregame and see what the reports look like. But if we're thinking it's going to be 18 to 20 minutes, that is significant to everyone's player props outside of Nikola Jokic.
All right, very good. Incredible knowledge and nuggets as always. Remember, we do this live show right now just once a week. As we get closer to the fall, we will be ramping it up to almost every single day. And every day will be a different topic. Monday Night Football, Thursday, et cetera, because we're going to grow this brand, and it will become the #1 sports betting brand in all the land. I can promise you that. And we want everybody rolling with us, the Early Edge team, every single day. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much. We do not get to 200 likes, so we're not giving away those 3, but we will give away a year-long subscription tomorrow morning on the show for everybody who wrote their Twitter or Instagram handle and wrote the word over. Enjoy the game tonight.
Hold on, Coach. I got to click. We'll give away to 5 people. 5 people who wrote their Twitter.
So we're going to give away 5 tomorrow on the show.
Yes.
5 on the show tomorrow. My goodness.
6.
I think
6.
Well,
Our man Zach's going perfect again. I've seen his picks. He's going perfect tonight. We're going to go.
Okay.
Zach's going to go perfect again.
Damn. Either the jeweler just became the senior vice president of SportsLine, or I missed something in the last 2 hours. But whatever the case is, 6 tomorrow morning on the show. So you better tune in live to make sure you won. Man, my head's I'm spinning right now. But I'm ready for a busy night. Be sure to follow all of us on social media, as we are always active, always telling you what's going on. And thank you for being a part of the family and the community, the positive community that we continue to grow. For M Squared, and you saw Chief making an appearance today. Great to see Chief. For Justin, for the jeweler, our executive producer who puts it all together and apparently has the hotline to the bosses, I am the coach. Remember, Early Edge is your brand all the time, every single day. We'll be back next Thursday, I believe, Thursday afternoon, but of course, always in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. I'm the coach. Until next time, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.